story of Justice Joseph Wowo. That's a Nigerian and a former Chief Justice of the Gambia who is seeking compensation. Justice Wowo was accused of corruption by the then government of President Jammeh and was detained. He, however, challenged his conviction in the ECOWAS court and says he was exonerated. The court awarded damages in his favor. He claimed that years after the judgment, others in the case who are the Gambia have been compensated except him because he's a Nigerian. Justice Wowo is now appealing to the government and others to revisit the issue so he can get his compensation and get his life back. And former Chief Justice of the Gambia, Joseph Wowo, joins me now to speak more on this. Good to have you join us. So you mentioned that years after that judgment by the ECOWAS court that you have not been paid your compensation. Have you gotten any reason as to why that compensation has not been paid?
No, to the best of my knowledge, from some of my sources, they said because I'm a Nigerian, because all the Gambians have been paid. And Alhaji Manu, the recently, he just left the Gambia. It was the Nigerian High Commission to the Gambia. He wrote series of letters to the Foreign Affairs of the Gambia, and I was made to understand by a source that says that some official of the Foreign Affairs in Gambia said he could continue writing. After some time, he will be tired to write on my behalf. So what I'm trying to say in essence is that they just deliberately don't want to pay me. And also, they are supposed to pay all my salary allowances and gratuity. They also refuse to pay because I wrote to them. And one other Gambian judge who had almost the same problem has been paid. And the Gambian judge did not even have any court judgment.
So have you tried to route this through the Nigerian, perhaps the Ministry of Foreign Affairs?
Yes.
And all of that? And what response did you get?
The same thing, because the Foreign Affairs, when I wrote a letter, I think in 2020, they wrote letters to Gambia government, nothing actually came out of it. I think they are suppressing the letter so that the new president would not be aware of my situation. Because I remember sometime in 2021, the new president said they've already settled all the judgment from the ECOWAS court. And that's not true because he's not aware of my judgment, I presume.
So one of the reports we are getting is the question of whether exoneration or not, and that your claim that you were exonerated by the ECOWAS court isn't true. In fact, there was a statement. I just want to take that statement so you can react to it. Is okay. That, however, so they say that, however, since it does not have, so the ECOWAS court says, however, since it does not have the power of an appellate court, it could not interfere with the decisions of the national courts. And they also said, I'm just quoting now, that it follows that the petitioner's convictions have not been overturned as a matter of law and of record. This is, of course, by itself not a basis to refuse the relief sought in the petition, as there are several other factors to be considered by the court. So that the ECOWAS court has said, look, they do not have jurisdiction, local jurisdiction, but that you should be paid compensation, but you have not been exonerated, and that exoneration is a major challenge here.
That is the truth. The position you just did was actually misconstrued. What the ECOWAS court said was that when it comes to violation of my human right, it now gives the ECOWAS court jurisdiction to go into it. Because like if you take note of that judgment, the ECOWAS court said the trial was a violation of my right. First and foremost, the ECOWAS court even went further to say that there was no criminal investigation that indicted me. You see, in any criminal trial, there must be an investigation that indicts the person. There was no investigation that indicted me. I was just taken from my house straight to court and to be tried by a judge who is undergoing a corruption trial before me. And I've commenced that corruption trial. In fact, in the court, I brought out the issue of the first witness, who happened to be the secretary to the judge, who testified that one of the accused persons the judge discharged and acquitted brought a brown envelope filled with money to their office, but the judge was not there, and he now gave it to the secretary. Unfortunately, this envelope was not sealed, so they opened it, they saw a lot of money. And when the judge came, they gave the envelope to the judge. After the judge took all the money from the envelope, the judge now gave them the empty envelope and warned them not to receive anything from them. They were laughing. This was the testimony of the secretary to the judge, who happened, his name is Justice Emmanuel Inkia. And even if you look at the ECOWAS judgment, he did not deny that there was an investigation against him. The ECOWAS court mentioned that also.
So how then do you intend, Justice Wowo?
That is not correct.
All right. So how then do you intend to seek justice? Because this is a lingering matter of over, close to a decade now. How do you intend to seek justice?
That is why I'm calling on Nigeria, to the presidency, to actually help me out, because the Foreign Affairs was unable to actually do anything to it. So that's why I'm calling on the president to please come into this issue. You understand? I've never seen, all my long years of practice as a lawyer on the bench, I was in the High Court, I rose to the Court of Appeal, I became president of the Court of Appeal, I became the Chief Justice, which is in the Supreme Court. I've never seen where a criminal trial can even commence without any investigation indicting the person of committing any offense. My own is the first. So if that can happen to a Chief Justice, what happened to the common man? And what actually commenced this trial? Let me go back again to make you people understand.
We do not have the time. I'm out of time.
Okay.
I'm sure we'll have
there was
you
no
as
trial. Let me say there was no trial. The former president, like Gambia, said he's going to destroy my career because I held a press conference.
We could take this,
calling him to apologize to me. That was what caused the trial. I wasn't tried at all before. It was after the press conference where I called for him to apologize to me because of I don't want to be able to tarnish my integrity. And two, I wanted to know that Nigeria have decent people. Because in Gambia, anything that happens, to say Nigerian, I want to actually stop those impressions. Because when the truth comes out, they would not come out to say it's not Nigerian. That was why I held that press conference. I knew he was a dictator. I knew he was a very, very cantankerous person. But I want to safeguard my image and to safeguard the image of Nigeria. That was why I held the press conference. It was after the press conference I was taken from my house straight to the court. And there was no investigation that said I did anything wrong. And I was tried by a corrupt judge. And I said it in the court. And if you read the ECOWAS judgment, it was clearly stated there that the trial ought not to even commence. Because
Justice, we do have to leave it there. Thank you so much for your time. Former Chief Justice of the Gambia, Joseph Wowo, thank you so much for your time.
You are welcome. I appreciate.
All right, let's turn to back to the U.S., where Tito Jackson, one of the brothers who made up the pop group, the Jackson 5, has died at the age of 70. The Rock and Roll Hall of Famer was the third of 9 Jackson children, which include global superstars Michael and sister Janet, part of a music-making family whose songs are still beloved today. Tito's son TJ, Taj, and Tarrell made the announcement in an Instagram post while describing their father as an incredible man who cared about everyone. The Jackson 5 included brothers Jackie, Tito, Jermaine, Marlon, and Michael. The family group, which was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 1997, produced several #1 hits in the 70s, including ABC, I want you back, and I will be there. And that's the What Now. For more details on the stories we're monitoring, you can visit our website, www.tvcnews.tv. You can also follow us on social media. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and on X at TVC News NG. And on YouTube, we're live at TVC News Nigeria. Thanks for watching. I'll be back at 4 with more updates.